So what's going on with this Isaiah Rashad interview with Joe Budden?
I seen some clips. I ain't see the whole interview, but I seen some clips that they were talking about this. I mean, I guess the situation that we talked about last episode, well, a couple episodes ago, about the the leaked videos, plural. Yeah. And I guess somewhere along the lines where everybody's talking about, where everyone's was thinking about with this interview, what's always is a big topic, his sexuality. And I think had asked that, and it was like, where do you stand with that? And he said he's fluid. Which is, I was looking at that. I'm like, oh, yeah, we all said that in the beginning. Like, well, back in my day, we said we always used to be like, oh, yeah, I'm bisexual, but then later on you realize you're gay. But like I said, again, it's none of our business. But he got on the interview, and it was definitely something that people were talking about. I think it was yesterday. It came out yesterday. It was weird. I was wondering if you knew about it. I want to get your little take on it.
I remember watching the videos, and in my brain, I'm like, well, it's nothing he should be ashamed about. He recorded it. Like, I recorded it. Like, it wasn't like there was a secret elevator moment or like somebody hid a camera. They leaked it, but you recorded it. He knew what he was doing. And I also feel like we don't have to get in the space where we have to explain our sexuality to anybody. Like, I do what the fuck I want because I'm grown. And being sexually fluid also airs on more so in the pansexual part of the spectrum, because that means that you're open to doing whatever, like I said earlier, whatever makes you come do it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, whatever makes you come do it.
And that's kind of what he said too. He was like, I'm more or less of like whoever I can connect with emotionally. Like, it's not about physical, like it's not about this or that. It's about like the connection I have with somebody. So I said, okay, that seems pan, but also, you decide what you are, and if he says he's fluid, he's fluid. Okay.
Sexually fluid, be fluid. I mean, sexuality is fluid. Anyway. Right. Sexuality is fluid in general. Like, and I think that it's more of a mental hurdles for a lot of people to be sexually explorative, which means that you kind of remove if you remove the social stigmas of sex, you can do whatever you want just to explore and see what you like. And him saying that he's sexually fluid now, he could decide in 2 years, like, actually I identify as heterosexual because I found that I have a stronger connection with women emotionally, intellectually, and sexually than I did with men. And so this is where I am now. And it's his right to say that because it's his body and it's his sexuality. So we have to be careful with this idea or notion that when someone comes out and says they're bisexual, that automatically means that they're in transition to be gay. I am a bisexual male in a homosexual relationship by choice because I chose to be with the partner that I'm with, right? I love this man that I'm with. Had in any moment there had been a woman that I connected with on the levels I connect with him, I would have been with her. Because I've been in that space before where I connected with her in that space. So it's like, no, me being able to say I am sexually free, which means I take autonomy over my sexuality. I'm the authority. I'm a sovereign being, and I get to choose what I want to do. And that goes without explanation to anyone. No one really needs to know or care about your sexuality except the people you're having sex with.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts
I
on
was just
it.
very curious that he was like, why did you pick Joe? Out of all the people, Joe?
But didn't we just have this conversation about supporting Black platforms?
Oh, okay, all right. I'm not saying.
I'm just saying
David Letterman.
That was literally the last story.
No, I'm not saying he should be on the Jimmy Kimmel show or nothing like that. I'm like, Joe.
But Joe probably asked.
When it comes, okay, he probably asked, sure. But when it comes to these topics, and I get it, he's very like, I'm not gonna say woke because that term is so old. Joe had this conversation before. Okay, I mean with himself, and not trying to say that he's anything, but like that was a conversation that you ain't see that clip?
I thought he was making a joke saying that he like
but he got on some show, some barbershop show, child, and they were asking about it, and he basically said, if that was the case, then what does that change with us? it's the fact that because he was like, because I guess the dudes was like, well, you know, if that's true, then it'll be weird, and he was going back and forth. But then that was a good moment. I was like, okay, Joe, look, growth.
That was also, right. That's great, but that was also supposition. It was giving very much if then, not I am. It was very if I am, then what?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That wasn't a.
No, I'm not trying to say that he is or not. I'm just saying like he's definitely like he's
open. He's open to the dialogue, and that's good.
Right.
That's great. I mean, I think it's great that he's open.
I like most heterosexual men because it's just like, oh,
right. And I think that if heterosexual men in general, because I will say there are a lot of DL thirsty gay men who literally get their rocks off trying to turn people out, and it's like, oh, that's a straight man because they're attracted to masculinity and whatever their desires are. Can sometimes become disrespectful in their approach, because you never really know what people like until you know. If there was a straight man that I was attracted to, I don't feel that there's anything wrong with shooting your shot, but just be respectful. And then when you get shot down, just keep it cool.
Just bow out.
Right. But it's funny because straight men do the same thing with women. We had a conversation about this a couple of weeks ago about how some straight men will literally hound a lesbian. Like, oh, you just ain't tried it yet, and all the kind of stuff where it literally becomes sexual harassment. And so for Newark Pride, that I'm a producer of the Newark Pride Festival here in Newark, we were founded in 2005 after the murder of a 15-year-old lesbian who was being approached by two straight men at night here in Newark downtown, and she wouldn't get in the car with them, and she wasn't interested in them because she was a lesbian. Like, no, they denied her, and they found her and then killed her.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? So you have to be careful out here in these streets still. But I'm glad that Joe opened up the conversation. He gave Isaiah Rashad a platform to share his story and his perspective. And I think that we do need to have more conversations like that. So I'm gonna go back and watch the whole interview. But I did read a couple of articles on it.
Yeah.
So.